Hello, this is Sarah from Hooked on High Vibes. Welcome back. Today I'm recording a video on women's hormones, the menstrual cycle, moon time, it has lots of different names, but the time of the month, how you interact with your body, how to build a healthy relationship with your body around that time, how to fall in love with your menstrual cycle instead of dreading it. So if you want to know more, then please carry on and watch this video. So this topic it's really special because I think it's something that we can sometimes avoid talking about as society might make us feel like it's a time that we should be quite secretive about whether we have our menstrual cycle, or that we shouldn't talk about it, or that some people feel dirty even kind of mentioning the word, and there's a little bit of a taboo around it. And people can be embarrassed to buy sanitary towels. That, it's just kind of that whole thing that comes with it, and it really shouldn't be that way at all. It's another way of women feeling like they can't embrace a part of themselves or be totally open about something, and I think it's part of self-love is to really and fall in love with your body, and to have a healthy relationship is to really honour and be proud of your menstrual cycle and the time of the month. So in ancient times, when we lived in tribes and as communities closer together, when women would live closer in tents or something like that, then you probably may have heard of already that women's cycles used to all link up together. And that's how powerful and intelligent women's bodies are, and just that in itself is amazing. And also the menstrual cycle used to link up to, they used to use the moon as their indicator. And you'll find that your cycle can sometimes change itself, and you can start to bleed on certain times of the moon and use that as your calendar. In my experience is that my cycle usually somehow changes itself to either bleed on the full moon or the new moon, and it changes as the year goes on. But my body in itself has always either bleeds in the full moon or the new moon, and sometimes it even surprises me. But it's a good reminder of how intelligent our bodies are and what they're doing. But it's also really, really cool to look at what the moon stands for. So the full moon, for instance, is a time of release. It's a time of cleansing, going within and cleansing and releasing. And this is also what our menstrual cycle is for. For women, it's a time of the body cleanses itself, to release. We release emotions and the old, and every time that we have our menstrual cycle is a rebirth to us. So how can we honour this process, and how can we learn to love it? So obviously I know that you can get cramps in your period, so a lot of people can dread that. A lot of people can dread the first day of their period because they can feel a lot more tired or emotional maybe beforehand. So there's this pattern where we can start to really talk to our body like, I don't like this time of the month. And we're sending those messages to our body, and it's sad really when you look at it in that way, that we should really be loving ourselves through that process and honouring it. And for me, as I've done this over the years, I felt a lot more, there's a lot more self-love that comes up with it, because that's a massive part of yourself. And if you're hating it and moaning about it, or really disliking it and avoiding it, then that is a part of yourself that you're avoiding. And it's a big part, and it's a really beautiful part. It's all part of us creating as women. It's a very powerful creative energy with our menstrual cycle as well. So when we bleed with the moon, this is a time to go within, and you will feel quiet and like you want to withdraw. So it's honouring this time and using it for your benefit. So it's a good time to really look at it as a self-care routine to really nurture and nourish yourself. So on the day that your period starts, so maybe on your heaviest day, to really allow yourself to be gentle and slow throughout the day. And if you can, take the day to yourself and just sit with essential oils, wrap up warm, have a hot water bottle, read a book, journal, have a bath, just a whole day of self-love and being really, really good to yourself, and showing your body that you love it through this time. It's really, really powerful. It's really connecting to the woman, and that is you. It's really good routine and habit to get into, and I really recommend trying it. And another thing is to know that if you're emotional the day before, on that day, that is perfectly natural. We're releasing those emotions, they're coming up for a reason. So just be gentle with yourself at that time, and journaling's really good. And you'll find that after your period and after the time that you've bled, that you'll feel so much lighter, that you've let stuff go and you've gone through that creative time. And you might, so to look at that time as if you're doing a creative project or something like that, then after your period you have all these ideas and this new beginning and it's like a rebirth every time. And if you look at it that way, you see how special it is and how you should actually look forward to it instead of dreading it. And obviously pain and cramps are uncomfortable, and there are ways that you can really help with these. So I look obviously nutritionally at balancing hormones, which can really help. But there, the things that you might know about already is, hot water bottle, the warmth really helps. Obviously raw chocolate's good because of the magnesium. You could also take a magnesium supplement to help with the cramps as well. Anything to really relax you, to relax the body, will help with the pain as well. And you can also take a supplement called MSM, which is good at balancing the hormones, and that works in the liver, and the liver is the seat of hormones. So these are just a few other things that you can look at to help with pains if you really get really painful cramps around that time of the month. Just to look at your liver health, because that's what controls our hormones, which filters them as well, and your digestion. So there's a lot of things that you can look at. But today I'm really talking about how we can nurture ourselves and really love ourselves through that time. And I think it makes all the difference. It does, certainly to me. I've stopped being so hard on myself on those emotional days before. I realised that it's a process that we have to go through and we need to go through. And it is for us, it's a beneficial time for us. And just to know that you can take that day of and just have all this self-care, nourish and nurture on yourself, and you don't have to feel guilty, and you can just, it's a massive act of self-love, and that's really powerful. And if you can do that every month, then you'll start to really feel that connection as well. And you can also start tracking your menstrual cycle and seeing if it does come up around the moon or how it changes, because it's really powerful to see how it's linked to the moon, and you really realise how sacred and amazing the menstrual cycle is for women. And it's not just, it's not just that time where we have to bleed and be moody and crave foods. It's so much more than that. And when you actually look at all those things in a positive light, that you're releasing emotions, that you're craving foods like that will help you feel comforted, like magnesium in chocolate, and that you can really nurture yourself in loving ways for the pain and the discomfort and love yourself through it, then I think that you will build a relationship up with your body that is even more connected and healthier. And I'd love to see if you notice any difference by doing this. So I hope you've enjoyed this topic, and if you've got any questions, then post below. If you'd like to learn more, then please subscribe. And I wish you a beautiful day and a beautiful menstrual cycle.